Welcome back to Creatively Homemade, the remote and hybrid professional. I'm excited to introduce Lesson 28 of our series. In remote and hybrid interactions, the absence of visual cues like facial expressions and body language can make demonstrating genuine empathy challenging. Today, we're focusing on empathy in a virtual world, connecting on a deeper level with customers. This lesson will equip you with powerful techniques to convey understanding, build rapport, and truly connect with customers, even when you can't see them face to face. Our goal is to empower you to listen deeply and connect truly. Let's dive in. In a virtual world, there's often an empathy gap. We rely heavily on visual cues like facial expressions, gestures, and body language to gauge emotion and understanding. However, in many remote interactions, especially phone calls or chat, these are entirely absent. This forces a greater reliance on auditory and verbal cues, like tone of voice, pace of speech, and specific word choices. This can lead to a higher risk of misinterpretation, both on your part and the customer's. Without direct visual feedback, a customer might easily feel unheard or unseen, even if you're actively trying to help. Understanding this gap is crucial to intentionally developing techniques that bridge it, ensuring your empathy shines through every interaction. The cornerstone of virtual empathy is active and reflective listening. Since you can't see them, you must listen intently for tone of voice, pitch, pacing, and pauses. These subtle auditory cues convey significant emotion. Is their voice tight with frustration? Slow with exhaustion? Enthusiastic? Then paraphrase and summarize what you hear back to them. So, if I understand correctly, you're experiencing X and Y, which led to Z. This confirms your understanding. More importantly, reflect feelings. It sounds like you're feeling quite frustrated with this. Or, I can hear that this situation is very upsetting for you. This validates their emotions. Finally, avoid interrupting. Give them space to fully express themselves. Active and reflective listening demonstrates you are truly present and engaged, even from a distance. The words you choose and how you say them are incredibly powerful in conveying empathy. Our second strategy is to use empathetic language and phrasing. Incorporate phrases like, I understand, or I can see why that would be frustrating. These are simple but effective acknowledgments. When a customer shares their story, respond with, Thank you for sharing that with me, or I appreciate you bringing this to my attention. If they're experiencing difficulty, say, I'm truly sorry you're experiencing this, or I apologize for the inconvenience this has caused. As we discussed in Lesson 16 on positive language, always maintain a positive and reassuring tone of voice. Your verbal empathy is all they have to go on, so make sure your language explicitly reflects your understanding and care. Validation goes beyond just hearing. It's about acknowledging the legitimacy of their emotions. Our third strategy is to validate feelings and experiences. This means acknowledging their reality, even if you don't fully agree with their interpretation of events. Phrases like, that makes perfect sense why you'd feel that way, or I can certainly understand your concern, show you're seeing things from their perspective. Sometimes, generalizing can help. Anyone would feel that way in that situation. Crucially, avoid minimizing or dismissing their feelings with phrases like, don't worry about it, or it's not that big a deal. Even if the issue seems small to you, it's significant to them. Validating their feelings builds rapport and opens the door for effective problem solving, as they feel understood first. Even without visual cues, nonverbal indicators are still present. Our fourth strategy is to acknowledge these nonverbal cues even when you can't see them. Pay close attention to silence and pauses. Is it a thoughtful pause, or one of frustration or confusion? Notice changes in voice volume, pitch, or pace. A sudden increase in volume or faster speech often indicates rising emotion. You can infer frustration, confusion, or urgency through these cues. For example, I hear a little frustration in your voice. Can you tell me more about what's going on? Then adjust your own pace and tone to match or soothe theirs. If they're speaking slowly due to confusion, slow down your own instructions. By actively listening for these subtle cues, you demonstrate a heightened level of attentiveness and empathy, creating a more responsive and human interaction. Sometimes customers don't explicitly state their deepest frustrations or needs. Our fifth strategy is to probe for deeper understanding. Use open-ended questions that encourage detailed answers like, "What happened next? How did that affect you?" Or, "Tell me more about what you're hoping to achieve." If something isn't clear, ask, "Can you explain that a different way?" Or, "Could you give me an example?" This avoids making assumptions. Crucially, focus on the impact of the problem, not just the technical issue itself. How has this specific error impacted your workflow today? This uncovers the true pain point. Finally, listen for unstated needs, the underlying issues or emotions that the customer might not be articulating directly. Probing gently helps you get to the root of the problem and provide a more comprehensive, empathetic solution. In a virtual setting, patience is an extraordinary display of empathy. Our final strategy is to maintain a patient and unhurried interaction. Allow the customer time to process what you've said and formulate their response. Don't jump in to fill every silence. Avoid rushing the conversation, even if you have metrics or other calls waiting. The customer will feel it, and it will undermine your empathy. Let them fully express themselves, even if it takes a bit longer. Sometimes just having a sympathetic ear is part of the solution. Remember, your calmness is contagious. If you remain patient and unhurried, it helps the customer relax and feel more comfortable sharing their concerns. An unrushed interaction communicates that they are your priority, fostering a truly deeper connection. To further enhance your ability to demonstrate empathy in a virtual world, I've compiled some excellent resources for you. On this slide, you'll find highly recommended books that delve into de-escalation, active listening, and emotional intelligence, such as Verbal Judo by George J. Thompson, The Lost Art of Listening by Michael P. Nichols, Crucial Conversations by Carrie Patterson and colleagues, and Emotional Intelligence 2.0 by Travis Bradbury and Jean Greaves. These offer powerful frameworks for understanding and applying empathy. Additionally, there are valuable online tools and practices, including active listening exercises, tone of voice practice, role-playing scenarios to hone your skills, and using empathy map templates. For all the full details and where to find these, please make sure to check the comprehensive description below this video. Let's bring it all together. Empathy in a virtual world is truly the heart of your remote service, integrating so many skills we've learned. It amplifies Lesson 16, the power of positive language by giving your words genuine warmth. It's foundational to Lesson 17, building rapport, virtually by creating a true emotional connection. It relies on your composure from Lesson 21, professionalism in a hybrid world. It's essential for Lesson 22, remote troubleshooting, and Lesson 26, overcoming technical glitches by helping you manage customer frustration and provide reassurance during difficult moments. Now, Lesson 28, empathy in a virtual world brings these elements together for deeper connection. You're building a compassionate and connecting remote presence that sets you apart. To conclude, I want to leave you with a simple call to action. Take what you've learned today and intentionally put it into practice. Listen actively and reflectively for those subtle verbal cues. Use empathetic language to validate feelings and build trust. Practice patience and use probing questions to get to the root of a customer's needs. Your goal is to cultivate genuine connection and serve with heart, not just to solve a problem. Remember, the resources we've discussed are all in the video description to help you on this journey. By mastering these skills, you are creating a more human and compassionate experience for every customer you serve. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in our next lesson.